Frequently asked questions.
Siege monstrosities.
Frequently asked questions. Fuzzy and Q. Frequently asked questions. I just sat down with Fuzzy and Q. FAQ podcast with Fuzzy and Q. It's the only podcast you listen to. Frequently asked questions, man.
Welcome to the FAQ podcast, Fuzzy. We've been waiting for this. I guess all our lives, Fuzz. You know what I mean?
Man.
Some people are Hollywood, some people are Brooklyn. Some people are Brooklyn Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, Fuzz.
We don't know where we at with it. We don't know where we at with it, man.
Hey, I'm really excited. This new documentary just came out. Biggie, I Got a Story to Tell on Netflix. And we have people. I mean, you can't get closer than Butler Wallace. We have D-Roc and we have Wayne Barrow here. Guys, thank y'all for stopping by the FAQ podcast. We really appreciate it.
Thank y'all for having us, fellas.
Yep, appreciate y'all.
Man, now you guys were here for a second. We was talking to Wayne for a second. It was like, yo, are you guys excited about the numbers? When Fuzz was telling me about it, like, dog, we gotta watch this.
Yeah. And
Wayne was like, nah, dude, we just happy we got it done. How did this even start?
Well, Ms. Wallace and I have been having some conversations, and the creative initially was to try to do a documentary that allowed the fans to participate. So let's go all over the world, because he's a global artist, and start picking up, some footage from individuals that, that he either inspired or were fans, and kind of tell that story. Sat down with the director, Emmett, who was an amazing, creative, and he just came up with this concept and took that a little further and said, no, why don't we make this more about Christopher and show you how he became Notorious Big, and whatever nuances to pull that together are necessary is what we need. Footage, talking to his friends, and things along those lines. And then the task of me pulling all of these people together started. The one that I wanted to get first was the one that I actually got last, which was D-Roc, because he was definitely the one I knew I was going to have to really kind of push through this thing, because emotionally he's attached to it in a different way. And I know he wanted to tell his story, but it needed to be told his way. So, and that's how we all got to this place.
Let me ask a question. Once you guys tell our viewers or listeners, like, your guys' role in each, you, Wayne, and D-Roc, each one of you guys' role in Biggie's career, or as being friends or at working with him. Okay.
I managed Big, co-managed him with my partner, Mark Pitts, and then in death managed the estate, more so Miss Wallace. I managed Miss Wallace the last 24 years to kind of help her do what needed to be done. I took over what D-Roc was doing and kind of segued that into making sure that she and the family was straight from a business standpoint.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Okay. History.
Yes.
And D-Roc, what's your place with Biggie and the family? I'm talking about from the giddy up all the way to the end. Or still
family, like far as family is family. You know how everybody respect mom, dude, kids. You know how that goes. But as far as like with Big, it's just I was just like wingman. Like I actually probably gave dudes jobs. Like I'm like the original wingman. Like you know what I'm saying? Like no job too big, too little, whatever. I'll drive, hold them down. Whatever it takes, like, for us to win, like, I'm saying? Just really a real right-hand man, good friend, solid dude, like, So whatever it takes, like, whatever it takes for us to get it done, like, Like, if I gotta play the barber one day, which I never have, but, like, it would be like, give me the clippers, let's get it done, like,
Swiss Army knife.
There's been times I've stole the tour bus to get to the next spot, like, we can't find our driver, like, you know what, he got to catch up.
Right.
I'm like this on the joint on the highway, like don't even know how to, So whatever it takes for us to get it done, I'll do it.
Yeah, it was a lot of footage, man. D-Roc, like, dude,
that's nothing.
Right now, it's nothing. We got more.
Oh yeah.
So it's crazy because now we are in a culture of everybody has their phone. Like that's just normal, right?
Right.
In those days, it's like. We've been around people like, nah, I don't want to take no picture. Like, I'm cool.
It wasn't cool to take pictures with the artists in the 90s.
Nah, not back then, nah.
Bro. Nah. So, what made you say, all right, I'm picking up this camera. I'm going to, show this journey, man?
I mean, really, like I said, like you could look at a picture and we relive a moment. You know, when you see a picture and you be like, "Yo, remember this, remember that."
Right.
So I was like, that's when like the joints just kind of came out, the little Sony joints. So I just bought one. I just would pop a tape in every morning, and I mean, shit, I was happy. Like I was open. We ain't on the block no more. Like, oh shit, we out of town. I would be taping, getting dressed, putting on my sneakers. Like, yo, got to be next to the elevator. We in Detroit. You know what I'm saying? We about to do this, and I just film our whole day. Then at the end of the day, we would watch it, and then you would notice like the shit that you tape is not really the shit you taping. This was happening around you. Like we'd be watching the shit and be like, oh, look at him back there. Like so right. It started being funny. Like, you know what I mean? So then it started taping the shows, just taping our day, yo. Like it's like a visual diary for me. You know what I mean?
So you had this in your possession, so you just held on to it.
Yeah, I definitely had it in my possessions. Like they did with my tapes. Like I bought the camera, I was buy the 90-minute joints, I put them in, pop them in, you know what I mean? Buy extra batteries and just keep it with us. Like videographers didn't even exist then.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you couldn't, like right before COVID, I couldn't stand to go out because you go out, you go to the section, everybody got a big ass camera. It's like the barber is rolling around with a videographer. It's like, come on, man. Like it's more videographers in the section than people actually, you know, partying. So it's like we didn't take no for an answer. I had the camera in everybody's face.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, this is what it is. It's what we're doing. Like, you know what I mean? But I didn't even take it like that. It's not like I was doing that for that. That was just for our personal that we would watch on the bus on the way to the next stop. Like,
damn.
You know what I mean?
Right. That's good.
Man, and Wayne, dude, it was certain things in this documentary that, I mean, you got Ms. Wallace to open up about, like, we've never heard before, you know, just about Biggie's father. And I mean, was that like a struggle? Or was she like, you know what, I'm ready to, you know, tell more of this story?
No, she's not. I mean, honestly, nothing's a struggle for Ms. Wallace.
Yeah.
She's one of the strongest women that I've ever, you know what I'm saying, witnessed. And for her, I think it was more about making sure that people understood. And this has always been her thing. I want people to know who Christopher was. I want people to know who Christopher was. She didn't really care too much about Notorious Big. I don't think she still doesn't really understand that. She just understands that, you know what I'm saying, after watching these films and talking to D-Roc and myself and Mark or Puff, that, you know, her son was a certain persona, but she still goes back to Christopher, no matter how you slice it. So it was easy for her to speak. I don't think that people were asking the right questions. And throughout the years, everybody was questioning how she felt as a mother who lost her son. Or asking about the negative elements of his life that she had no idea of, and specifically as it relates to Tupac and surrounding the death. She always wanted to talk about his life because to her, that's all that mattered. That's the thing
that's her baby. That's her baby.
You know what I'm saying? So
let me tell you what was interesting when she broke down and she said, when I say break down, she just said she only listened to, was it Life After Death album once?
No, she listened to Ready to Die.
Ready to Die.
Yeah, once. One time. Yes.
Yep.
I'm like, that's a real mom because I don't want my mother hearing me curse. So I understood, like, you know what I'm saying? I understood what that was. He was like, Mom, come on. Like, so she didn't know that side of, she didn't know Biggie Smalls. She just know Christopher Wallace.
Yeah, I thought she knew Christopher Wallace. So, she no, go ahead, ask your question. You know what
I'm saying? So when he was out hustling, she didn't, because she was going working. She didn't know that either. So that means, he had respect not to put that around his mom.
Right, absolutely. That
was D-Roc's fault for us.
I think all of us feel the same way when it comes to our moms, right? If you're a real man. If you're a real man, it's Mom Duke all day long. And yes, he had much respect for his mother, but at the end of the day, he also had that thing that he wanted to do as a man for himself, and that shit was calling me, I'm going over there, right? But again, you know, you got a brother on the phone who lived that shit with him, so Rock can actually speak to that in a more dynamic way so you can understand it better.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it was hardcore. Mama Bear was hardcore. You know what I mean? She kept the clamps on him, and like literally, he would have to leave the crib dressed a certain way, then go upstairs and redress to come out.
Wow.
Like, you know, false hardcore, but it was all respect. Like, it's to the point where we'd be in his crib. If he leave the room, I would want to walk with him because she gonna put me under pressure. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
You know how the moms and them do? They wait for you to leave the room. Like, what are y'all doing? I'm like, nothing. Like, she would have us under pressure, like for real. Like Miss Wallace don't play that, but she's well respected, and we get it now. Though, like when you're young, you don't really get it. Like you don't get it, but Big took charge of what he wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? But Miss Wallace was definitely the mother that did not play that at all.
Yeah.
Like at all. But that's Jamaican roots. Most Jamaican parents are hardcore like that anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Indian parent.
Now, what's funny? I remember him having a real close relationship with his mom because when he came to LA and did interviews with us, he would be like, I just got off the phone with my mom. Like you can tell he was just always talking to her, like when he was on the road. Am I right, D-Roc? Like,
no, you're right. You're absolutely right.
So I remember Big Boy and him having a conversation about their mothers because Big Boy is very close with his mom. But he was like, I just talked to my mom. And he was like, I think he talked to her pretty much every time he went somewhere or going in and out. You know what I'm saying? So
to and from, that she always wanted to know that to and from. We got somewhere safe. You check in and stuff like that. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Right.
Yeah, and speaking about the Jamaican roots, man, like it was certain things that we didn't know that we saw in this documentary. We just even with his uncle and just like it made you go back. For me, it made me go back to songs like Respect, right? And how he's still tied in his Jamaican roots. Man, like just you and I saw his son in one of those scenes that you guys shot. Just talk about just going down there and showing that side of and his grandmother, like dude, his grandmother. Yeah, this is the side of, again, you want to say Biggie, but this is a side of Christopher that we've never seen before. Like you guys did such a great job with that. Just talk about that part going down to Jamaica, filming that, that side of the documentary.
No, first off, thank you. Second, that was a very integral part of the film. Mm-hmm. It was just a very integral part of his life, right? In order for you to kind of tap in, you got to get back to those old roots. So going to Jamaica was definitely something that we started the film off with. That was one of the first things that we shot. And CJ actually came on the trip with us because it would have been, for us, I thought it was going to be a great opportunity for him to really get a true understanding of his father from the family perspective. Although Gigi and Dave, they connect with CJ. This was different. So when we got there, everything was shot in the house, and then in terms of the inside scenes, and then all of the outside scenes. I mean, there's some things that we didn't even get to put in here. Like we went to a school. We showed where they used to go. Him and Dave. We showed this where they going up in the mountains, and he used to teach him, how to rap and stuff like that there, and or chat, if you will, or scant, however you want to put it.
Chat.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then also too, the Gigi conversation was that was really compelling because for the first time, people connected with someone outside of Miss Wallace from a motherly standpoint.
100%
by his death in a way that makes you feel like, oh my God, this is crazy. 96-year-old woman who was 86 at the time, 76 at the time, right? Losing her grandson by watching it on TV all the way in Jamaica, right? So I don't know. And then Dave took us to a whole nother thing because we actually created it was like a block party, like it's like being on Eastern Parkway, if you will, right? Mm-hmm. A straight mashup, you know what I'm saying? They got the DJs and they up there and they just doing their thing, and he gets the mic and he just start saying, like singing and rapping. This shit was so incredible because the energy was Jamaica. Like you felt like, we're in a hut,
right?
Makeshift hut. That's where they throw they Saturday night parties at. It was really, really dope. Like, I mean, it was so, that part of the film and filming it was amazing.
Yeah. I just love the quality, right? Growing up listening to Big, I just love the quality of the stories that we're starting to see from hip hop, right? Like back then it was like, oh, that's just little hip hop. That's them and their little Source Awards or whatever. And now, we're starting to see this is like real American musical history that was, and you guys put it together it was so eloquently, right? It was a great piece of work. D-Roc, like a lot of people know, like, oh, they may not know. They're like, oh, that's, that was Biggie's friend, right? That was Biggie's friend because they were friends and and then maybe they got really cool because he was a rapper. No, you were a real friend
from the giddy up,
from the door, right? And we've seen in other pieces and other stories that like you took the fall for Big, you know, in you know, a certain situation. Can you just explain that and like what kind of friend you are? Because we don't see that a lot.
I'm not that kind of friend of Quincy, first of all. So let's go.
No, now that's why you know, when I hustle, I stay away from him. You know what I mean? But break down the story, please.
Nah, I mean, see, back then we were just like fucked up. Like, it didn't even really have nothing to do with like Big getting a record deal. He could have wanted to be a fireman, and I still would have took the charge from him because it was just still somebody doing something better, at least having a legit job,
right,
where we come from. So, you know what I mean? But that particular time, the timing is crazy because this was like when it was almost like official, where it was like we was past the point of him knowing that he's about to get a record deal, where it was like, okay, I can officially say I'm about to get a record deal type shit. So we was walking from his house to my house. You know what I mean? It's like a little 4 or 5 block difference. And I swear to you, Big was talking about going gold and buying the 4Runner.
Wow. Damn.
That was it. Police roll up, you know what I mean? Toss the joint. And you know, D's, good thing it was blue and whites. I mean, it wasn't blue and whites because blue and whites took us both down. Like, the D's ain't wasting time. He's like, I can't arrest 2 people for 1 gun. 2 people can't carry 1 gun unless y'all carrying a bazooka. You know what I'm saying? Right. So y'all figure it out. He like cuffed us up. We smoked, let us smoke. We smoked when I was like, man, go ahead, man. Like, you know what I mean? You about to do this. And honestly, he fought me. He did not want me to do it.
Wow.
He was like, nah, hell no, bro. He was like, you're already out on bail for some shit. And I was like, that's my point. I'm already out on bail for some shit. So we might as well just
add some more shit.
Just put all this shit together. You know what I mean? Let me go get it on out the way. You know what I'm saying? He really was upset that I actually took the charge.
Wow. And this is around the Party and Bullshit release, or is that?
Yeah, this was like about after that. Like, Party and Bullshit was there, but this was when it was like really stamped. It's official. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm about to go start recording an album type shit.
Wow. How many years did you do?
For that one, I got like a 2 to 6, some shit like that. But I ended up doing 1.5 years. Got work release, and then me and him got in some trouble at that. Remember the Palladium shit? Yeah. We had a fight at the Palladium with some dudes. Allegedly, I hit him with a baseball bat. Crazy.
Allegedly.
You know and then, and so then I got violated. You know what I mean? And I had to go finish off the other 6 months, and then I came home. But,
so listen, so D-Roc, you in and out of trouble when your man Biggie is. Excuse me, I'm gonna keep referring to him as Biggie Smalls because that's what you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So when Biggie is starting to pop, like you locked up, you probably in jail. Like, I see that's my man. Like,
yeah, no, crazy shit. It was just the opposite. I didn't want nobody to know that was my man because I used to have people like I was going through it, going up there. Like, people would like, I had COs tapping on my cell. Was like, can you listen to this real quick? I used to be like, yo, I'm like, hey, yo, I'm not the guy for that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, but like dudes will come up from down the way and look at me and tell people like, hey, yo, you see that dude? That's his man right there. He's in here for him. Like, other people would say something about it. I would just keep my mouth shut.
You just wanted to keep that on the low.
Get the hell out of there. Yeah, I just wanted to get that. So it was actually opposite of that. I wouldn't say not one word that I knew Big, nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? I would call home. People, that's when I knew things was really blowing up because a lot of the hating would go on. I would call home. Oh, Big ain't gonna fuck with you. He don't fuck with dudes no more. Da 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 da. And I know Big. I'm like, if Big ain't fucking with you, it's because it's a reason he ain't fucking with you. You know what I'm saying? So I used to play right into it. Like, word, yeah. It's like, you did that bit for nothing, homie. I'm telling you.
They trying to fill your head with BS.
Yeah.
Wow.
Haters.
You in jail and people just start rapping out of nowhere. Man. Yo, pass me the hat with the cap. With the hat.
So I had lady CO singing, I am telling you. I was like, no, Mom. I was like, please don't do that.
Do that.
Like, please don't do that.
I ain't that dude. I ain't that dude. I just know the homie. Hey, let me ask you guys a question. And Wayne and D-Roc, you guys can probably have so at one point we all knew that Biggie was signed to Uptown MCA, right?
Yeah.
So when he did Party and Bullshit, and then it was the record when he mentioned Patti LaBelle.
Dreams.
Right. Was that the Was that the nail in the coffin to get him off MCA? Did somebody really have? I just want to know because I always heard the story. Was that the story that got him off MCA? They were like, "You're talking about Patti LaBelle, and she was signed to the label or something like that."
That's the first time I ever heard that.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I heard that actually about a couple of months ago. Somebody asked me that question.
Yeah, I never heard that before. It got me laughing.
The line he's referring to is, "I probably go to hell for touching Patti LaBelle."
Right.
Ooh, Regina Belle, she probably do me swell.
Yeah,
swell. Well, yeah.
So that wasn't the reason. So
that wasn't the reason. It was straight business with Andre. It was plain and simple.
So Andre and Puff, then it was their thing.
Hey, but believe it or not, we was getting stepped to by a lot of them girls.
Oh yeah,
that joint through us traveling, like bumping into people in the airports and stuff. Why are you going to like? We used to get into some little light beats, big. The crazy shit is, know what he used to tell him? I'm just playing, but I'm saying.
Dreams.
Who was the most feisty? Who was? I heard Escape kind of pull some guns out on y'all in Atlanta.
Nah,
I didn't hear that. No, I'm lying.
But no, actually, they did step to us though. At the airport, it was like, Big, why would you say? He was like, I'm just playing. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like I didn't mean that. Like, they was coming at us, yo.
Wow,
it'd be funny though. It was fun. It was all fun. It was all love though.
Great record.
Yeah,
great freaking record.
Two things that Fuzz said that made me think of just again in depth of how dope this documentary is. The Biggie Small. I knew Big had to change his name, right?
Yeah, I didn't know why.
I didn't. I knew. I heard it, but like y'all showed the dude and the footage. Like
I never put two and two together, bro. I didn't.
I didn't know. I remember Big complaining about Wayne. It was like, yo, I just got a phone call. Them telling me I gotta change my name. I'm like, for what? He was like, he pulled it. I think dude might have been in a magazine or something.
He was in a magazine. He was in a magazine.
So I remember that.
I had the name trademark.
Yeah.
He already had the name trademark. Yeah.
So Wayne, were y'all trying to like, come on, dude, let us use it? Was it?
It was definitely, you know what I'm saying, a fight trying to keep the name, but then it just became, you know what, it doesn't matter because people are going to identify with it anyway, right? That's
like I do.
That we did learn, like you yourself, as you just said, like, that's Biggie Smalls to me. So, you know what I'm saying? If you're connected to that, you're going to connect it to that. If you see him, hey, what's up? But then he tells you in an interview, and I think we put that in the doc as well. That, yeah, you call me what you want to call me, Notorious Big, but that Biggie Smalls thing, that's dead. Like, you know what I'm saying?
What dude, the artist though?
He was an artist.
Biggie Smalls, he was, right?
Buster ass.
Yeah. You should just gave it up. Like, come on, man.
Gave it up, man. You ain't gonna be. Yeah. And let me
just gave it up.
And the party in BS, that party, I didn't know that was a sample from. What was the sample from? Like, it was so much like these nuggets that we kept consistently getting them on this doc.
Yeah, I forgot the
song. That was from the poets. The poets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude. So let me tell you what was very good for me is so in 95 I moved. I'm born and raised in Compton, right? First time I ever leave my mom's house in Compton was to move to New York by myself at the age of 21, 22, right? Accepted the job to work at Payday Records with Patrick Moxie and Dino Del Valle. Now Dino Del Valle, I don't know if you guys know, who's an A&R at Payday. Mm-hmm. He stayed in Brooklyn. He stayed in Clinton Hills.
Wow.
I go to his house and I'm like, I need to stay near Dino. I don't know how to get to work. I don't know how to get to work on a train. I don't know nothing about public transportation, subways, or nothing. Yeah. I just know I need to stay near somebody I'm working with.
Right.
So exactly. Dino stayed on Washington between DeKalb and Willoughby, right?
Right there.
Right. So I walk down the street looking for available brownstone apartments. I go down maybe a couple of blocks and I go, there was a brownstone, one bedroom. I said, let me look at this. Got it. It was between Green and Gates.
Well, yeah, you was right there.
I'm right there. So I would see Faith. I would see Biggie in the neighborhood often, like just at the store. There was a Chinese food restaurant down the street.
Yep.
I didn't realize what I was really in. I just thought the neighborhood was cool because it looked like the Huxtables to me, like brownstones, and it just looked familiar from somebody from LA or Compton, brother.
Right.
That's the reason I stayed in Clinton Hills. So when you guys start breaking down the streets, I'm like, oh snap, that was my neighborhood. That was the neighborhood I stayed at.
Lil C's robbed them too. Lil C's robbed them. We'll talk about that off. It's a whole nother thing with that.
Shit, man.
No, I didn't know.
let's talk, like, March 9th, man. It's a hard day for all of us. We all know where we were. How do you guys celebrate Biggie's life on that day?
We don't celebrate his death. We celebrate his life.
Yes.
On March 9th, we take it low. We take it in. You know what I'm saying? We family, we friends, we chilling. His birthday, May 21st, that's the day we celebrate. But March 9th, we don't commemorate anything. There's a lot of people that do parties and, do all these things out there that's not something that we tap into. Some of them do. Right. But, you know what I'm saying? Me personally, that's not where I'm at, because that's not what we are about. That's not what he was about.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. How do you guys, think about it, right? That life after, the first album was crazy, right? Fuzz, you were a little bit older than me. When I heard Unbelievable, I was like, I can't wait to drive. All my friends was like, they was driving stolen cars. I was like, I can't wait to drive, right? What's your favorite, like one of your favorite, and I'm not talking about like the ones we hear on the record, on the radio. What's one of your favorite like B-side Biggie joints that, you were mesmerized by, some of his wordplay and his lyrics?
For me, I have two.
Okay.
From Ready to Die specifically, and well, actually no. Let me back up.
That's a hard one.
This is you not being biased. This is you being a fan.
This is just me being a fan.
All right.
Long Kiss Goodnight, Kicking the Door. That's from Life After Death. Everyday Struggle, and for some reason, I really, really always fucked with Give Me the Loot.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Give Me the Loot was yeah. Of course.
I never forget what Give Me the Loot. My friend got the tape before me, and he calls me. He's like, yo, Biggie's rapping with this other dude. And then I hear the tape. I'm like, dog, that's him, bro. What do you talk like? It's him. He's going back. Like he was just I'm not even gonna say before his time, because I don't think we've seen an impact lyrically. Like he literally stopped the world every time he would. Even what was that song? He was like, the more I smoke, the smaller the Philly gets. I'm like, that's genius. Yes.
Yeah.
That's duh.
Well done, I think.
How about you, D-Roc?
Yeah.
Mine's Everyday Struggle. That's Everyday Struggle. That's like my favorite, because that was just like that Ready to Die album was just like, we kind of was living it at the same time. So that's like a real close album for me. You know what I mean? Because we was going through everything. Like that was like in real time, that album. Like, you know what I'm saying? We'd probably be making a song of something that happened yesterday. You know what I mean? So
and do you place yourself in the studio remembering these? Like you were probably there when he did the record.
Yeah. Like I said, every song was like a different memory, a different event for us. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just going through all of that stuff. So it was, it's like emotional roller coaster. Like, so Ready to Die is really, it's like an album. Like somebody asked us that the other day, which album I like best. Like I said, I would have to go with Life After Death, because it's more fresh and it's like more clean and new for us. Like for Ready to Die, it was just so much turmoil and just learning it and just living it, doing that album.
Yep.
Like the Life After Death was the breath of fresh air for me. Like it's like, okay, we out of that smoke now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now this is it. So I appreciate it, but I mean it's hard, man.
Yeah,
it's hard.
Now, listen, I'm a fan of Biggie, like fan, right? Like I've literally, like I would write the lyrics down. Y'all have to paint the picture for me. It's Life After Death. Biggie goes in the studio and he's doing different flows on his album. He giving you soft. He giving you, he doing everything.
Hell yeah.
Paint the picture. What was the faces in the studio when he did the song with Bone Thugs and destroyed their?
I was there on that. No,
please
talk about that. That's what I said, because I was like, hey, yo, Big. I was like, hey, Bone, they got their own thing that they do. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, how are we even gonna do this? Like, how are you even gonna structure the record? Big was like, yo, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go first and stay out their way. He said, I don't want to go behind them, in the middle of them, or nothing. They're a group. You know what I'm saying? He said, I'm gonna go first. And actually, it was ill because we was in LA actually doing the song, but we ended up getting fucked up that nobody could do anything. We like kind of waste a session because we was all excited to meet each other, see each other. It was like, it was a dope
big deal.
moment. So yeah, it was a big deal. So what Big did was like, I'm assuming we went back to New York. Big just laid his verse and then sent it to them. and they finished the song.
Oh, so they weren't even in the studio.
No, we were there. No, we
were there
about 9 hours. I told you, it started off good, but then they started drinking Hennessy.
Yeah.
Like, actually, no. Actually, we seen Busy do his verse. Like, straight passed out on the lounge. They tapped him, said you up, went in there, did it one take. Damn. I was like, oh shit. I was like, he's the real deal. You know what I'm saying? And even down to the hook.
Right.
They came up with the hook, but that wasn't even supposed to be the hook to that song. They were just huddling, like, you know, they were just excited as we was. They was like, oh damn, it's Bone and Biggie. Like, they were just talking to each other saying it's Bone and Big. So then they was like, all right, Big, so let's try to work on this hook. Big was like, that's it.
Damn.
Like,
that's
what? They was like, what y'all was just doing in the corner?
Bone and Biggie.
Yeah, but they were just them talking to each other, like, ooh, it's Bone. Like, you know how you and your boys are hugging? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, ooh, like, you know what I'm saying? Like that. And Big was like, I want that.
Now, let me tell you what my record is off that album. Is going back to Cali. Like I said, I'm a West Coast head. And that record hit different in a couple of ways because we heard the song, you know, of course, after he passed, right? That's when it, you know, because the release was 2 weeks after the passing, pretty much.
About 10 days.
So we got the record kind of early in LA, and that record set with us different in LA. But first of all, I'm speaking personally on this because I hated that it happened in LA. I remember I was supposed to go to that party and I chose not to because I didn't feel like waiting in a line or nothing. I just remember I just wanted to go somewhere and chill. It wasn't because I felt like any bullshit was going to happen. I just felt like it's a big place. I didn't feel like being around a lot of people. And I was supposed to go. But I remember us playing the record in LA for the first time. I'm like, he was really showing LA love. And this would happen. You know what I'm saying? I felt bad. And I remember, I'm just reflecting on that day. I don't know if you guys remember, it was a DJ on not real. It was on 92.3 The Beat named Theo.
Deep voice?
Huh?
Yeah,
Deep voice. He said some disrespectful stuff, and I never forget because I'm like, it's bad taste. And excuse me for guys reliving this, but I remember I was at the record label working. And I'm listening to the radio the day it happened, and he said he was talking shit. He goes, he just got caught slipping. I'm like, why would you say that on LA radio with the climate, what it is? I don't know if they ever got back to you guys, but I'm like, that wasn't that was the bad representation, bro. You don't do that, man. And if you guys did hear it, I apologize, but it was something like that's not cool. And I always wanted to check Theo for that when I saw him, but I'm like, whatever. But this is what I want to ask about the record. Who on the A&R side didn't correct the 3-1?
That was Wayne. That was Wayne.
Wayne.
It was Wayne. Fuzz, I was waiting for you because I was like, I start calling people and they like, we in Detroit, bro. I'm like, but Biggie just told me.
Biggie was doing all the area codes in LA, and then he got to 310. It was meant to say 310, but he said 313. I'm like, that
was Wayne's fault, bro.
Like,
damn. I thought that too. That was on my
That's crazy. That's crazy. I don't think anybody caught that shit. That's funny.
No one caught that. I was like, he was almost there. Like, shoot.
That record was literally that was one of those records being from the East Coast. Like, dog, I gotta get over there. Like, it made you everything he was saying was like, I gotta get there. And you know what I'm saying?
Showing love.
Oh, dude. I mean, he was such a he was such a poet, man. I know, we heard rumblings, in the past. I'm literally just asking stuff from when I was 17 years old for us. So I'm like, I don't even know how much time y'all got.
You're getting your kid stuff off right now.
I'm getting everything off. What was there going to be a Jay-Z, Biggie Smalls? Were we going to see that album? Was it going to be the commission? Was it going to can y'all break that down?
Please break that down.
I mean, it was in talks, definitely. It wasn't in the making or nothing like that, but it was definitely an idea that they was talking about. That's why he was speaking about it. Definitely. That's for sure. The question, yes.
I definitely could see that happen.
Yeah, that'd have been nice. But they definitely would have been doing them reunion songs on each other's album until that came through. They already committed to that. Whoever drop album, we definitely gotta do a collab together.
Yeah. Yeah, and could y'all talk about just Big's kids, man? Like, I know we seen CJ in movies, and just talk about the, maturation process with, with his children and how they're doing.
Rock, you want to grab that one first?
Yeah, I talk a little about it. I mean, they're doing good. They're doing great, man. Like I said, and like CJ is just, like I said, I kind of know Tiana because Tiana was born first down, she was born in Washington, down a block from where you was staying at. Mm-hmm. So, we kind of, Tiana's is doing great. CJ is he likes to learn. I get a kick out of telling him little certain things about his pops, stuff like that, when he's little. And he mimics his father and don't even know it. A lot of things, little stuff he does, the way he wipe his nose, where he'll stand, stuff like that. I'd be like, yo, I'll be looking at him crazy. I'll be like, I'm just looking at you because you really don't know. You know what I'm saying? How you mimic your father. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
So, a little bunch of stuff. But Wayne's spent a lot of time with them as well. And,
to watch them grow is really a good thing because I think it's a testament to not only who Christopher was in terms of Biggie, based on what Rock is saying in terms of the mannerisms, you know what I'm saying? And I think both of them have some pieces of that. But for me, I just like the fact that as adults, they stepped into their own, right? CJ, his thing with cannabis and legalizing that, trying to legalize cannabis for his Come Think Big, you know what I'm saying, business that he started, specifically because his brother has autism and he wanted to make sure that there's, elements that tie into that medicinally. Tiana with her clothing line, they found their way. And I think that although they know who they are in terms of the kids of Notorious Big, I think that B.I.G., I think that they're at a space now where they want to just be Tiana Wallace and CJ Wallace, not known as the kids of. You know what I'm saying? It's an identity thing that I think they've positioned themselves based on their own doing to get to where they are. I'm really, really happy for them from that standpoint. Really happy.
Yeah, man. No, dude. Listen, man, please check out this documentary. Biggie, I got a story to tell. We just gonna call y'all back. We just gonna get y'all numbers and just start asking y'all random questions. If y'all get random text from us,
because I know I got a gang of stuff in my head still. God. I'm like,
bro,
out of respect.
Buzz, you my boy, man. Anytime, man.
Man. D, I'm so happy that you was talking, bro. I know you, and I'm like, yo, did you feel like this was therapeutic for you?
Yeah, hell yeah. I mean, Wayne made me look at it that way. You know what I mean? Yo, bro, you got to get shit out. You know what I mean? You got to talk. But I just was
nah, I just.
You know what I mean? It wasn't really, you know what I'm saying? You know how I go, right? You know what I'm saying? So I just was but Wayne was nah, I really owe it to him. And then when I think about it, after doing a few interviews and actually doing that doc and just you know what I mean, talking, I was you know what? I don't feel great, but
yeah,
I feel good.
You feel good.
D-Roc, you know what I learned from I didn't know you were in the car.
Yeah.
So when you said that, I'm I was feeling for you, my brother, because I'm that's certain things you just don't want to talk about or
relive.
But it's really, but that's your truth. And it's you were there. Of course you were there. Did you feel since the documentary is therapeutic for you, did you feel like you had to go to counseling after witnessing something like that? Did you go to therapy or anything?
Just recently. Within the past couple of years, I started going to therapy for that. Yeah. I didn't even know that type of stuff exists because we've just been running. Running since before that. Been running since I took the charge for him. Everything just been go. So about a couple of years ago, I started seeing somebody talking to people about it. But then that type of stuff, you got to be comfortable with even who you're talking to actually, you know what I mean? Kick back and finding a therapist is hard. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I might meet a person and be you know what? I ain't going back to that motherfucker. I'm talking to him here on his phone. Well, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Sometimes you just want to get somebody that you're actually comfortable with. So, but this is definitely therapeutic for me. Like I said, Wayne cracked that shell for me because I just was not even taught. Not that I wouldn't talk that I was mad or nothing like that. Just never really felt the need. Just you know what I'm saying? Just
I will say this, D-Roc. I've seen you've in the height. I've seen you 97, 98, coming down to Philly. There was no need to talk to you, bro. You had the demeanor where it was there's no need to.
You don't play.
So just seeing you, literally seeing you smiling, seeing you like it's almost like I don't know if it's a relief, but it's just like, dude, like I look at young kids or young rappers today that's like, you know, really hard. It's like, man,
Right.
no, I've seen you in some clubs. You don't even know, bro. You have no idea. But just to see you right here and being mature and appearing to be happy, man, it's just man, this is what we want our people to be able to be as happy as you look right now. And Wayne, man, like, listen, what you guys put together, man, is an amazing piece of work. Like, thank you for telling this story,
telling that story and documenting when we saw like Biggie freestyling on. I always saw that clip, but I didn't know who he was rapping to, and you guys broke down who he's rapping to, and you wrapping a towel around your hand because you didn't know you had to F somebody up.
I didn't know how that go. I didn't know about the battle rap. I thought he was just coming at us. Crazy. I didn't know nothing about that.
Yeah, nah, dude, it was.
I loved it. I loved seeing all that documented. And I'm like, this is really, this is our history. And you're in it. You're like you say, you're in it. Like in the 90s, we all grew up in it. And like, I didn't realize that we were actually living in a moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just take it for granted. Like, we're in our 20s. We just out here moving around, and we was out here young doing it.
I think that was what you just said. I think is a tell. It's like we just lived it.
Yeah.
Right? And what we're seeing today, because we're all here today, still doing what we do in whatever capacity, and things have changed, right? I think D-Roc spoke to this on one of the interviews that we had before. We went from being a drug dealer to using drugs, right? The mentality of these kids is totally different than what we experience. We experience partying in a way that allowed brothers to, I mean, you had a rag on your head, linen down, gaiters on, gun in your back. All you wanted to do was party and bullshit, right? About 1 o'clock in the morning, something popped off. It is what it is, but everybody had the same intent. And that's to walk up in that spot, not no head nod, not no leaning on the wall. We getting it in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But now for the women, the weed, and just the money, right? It was a lifestyle. And that lifestyle has kind of, I think, been quelled to the point that the stories are not really being brought forth in a way that makes you understand why. And I think that this film gives you an understanding of a brother from the streets still being able to make you dance. Dance to the point that 24 years later, you still fucking dancing. That's an amazing human being, and that human being needed to be glorified in a way that he actually lived his life.
Man, listen.
I got a barbershop question. Because this is a debate that I get in. This is a barbershop question. And y'all stop me if I
don't go to barbershops.
No. This is a barbershop question. This is a frequently asked question. And I'm like, I don't know.
Okay.
If Biggie was still here, do you feel like certain artists would be on the level they would be at to this day? I'll throw out a name. Just maybe I shouldn't have thrown a name.
I'll say this before I stop you.
Okay, cool.
I will say, me personally, if Big was still alive, there would be a lot of better music out right now because Big had people on their toes. Because remember this, when Big was out, everybody was nice. Big wasn't the nicest person out. The game was a sport. Everybody was busting ass.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? Big was because it was one of them situations. Well, if we don't get it, this dude gonna get it all.
Get it all.
So he had people stepping their shit up. So now it's like, I don't even know. Like, I don't even know. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got my playlist. I got to make my own music now. Like, I can't even turn the radio and expect to rock out. I have to make my own music.
Yeah.
Fuzz, I was trying to let him leave. Now you made me think of this other question.
I'm getting all this off because this is stuff that I talk about. I'm like, All right.
D-Roc said everybody was nice. All right, let me go back. I'll forget what the year was. Probably 1995. I was 16. Don't do the math. Whatever. It was interludes were big. They were huge.
Oh, I got another question.
It was an interlude that happened that hurt me because I liked everybody. I like New York was. I'm from Philly. New York was.
I'm on my Cali bullshit. Go ahead.
I get this record, Fuzz, and I'm listening to I love the record, and then it was this one interlude on the record where they're coming at Big. It was the Purple tape. How did y'all feel when Ghost was saying, "Yo, you didn't want to pop a little champagne," and
we knew we was winning then.
That's it.
We was winning.
But no one said, y'all didn't step to that crew and say anything? Or? No need. Wow.
Get out. I didn't like, I was like, come on. We ain't have to, but yeah, okay.
All right. So this is my aha moment when in the documentary. West Coast, Fuzzy, blah, blah, blah. I like that you guys took whatever energy that the West Coast was doing and fueled it like, this is what they're doing over there. This is what we got to do. Yeah. And I'm like, that's a way to paying homage to Death Row, Bad Boy, Dre, whatever the case may be. Like, y'all was taking, y'all was inspired. That's why I was trying to say, you guys were inspired. You guys didn't take it as a, damn, you inspired, like, we need to do it like this.
They raised the fucking bar.
Big said it. Big said that out of his mouth. Big said, yo.
He said, I'm trying to sell records like Snoop.
Yes.
Love it, man. I love that. Because, like I said, because of the East-West Coast tension, and I'll take it back. Q, I'm sorry. This is me just living my history. I was at the Source Awards when Death Row opened up, when all the bullshit happened, right? I was on my West Coast shit so much. I was like, throwing it up. So when the tension got tight, I never forget. It was me and my cousin Lamont. And I'm like, bro, it just got, the energy shifted. You guys were there. The energy shifted. And I'm like, man, everybody saw me on my West Coast shit here. And I'm like, dude,
you got scared, Fuzz. Come on.
Yeah. No, I'm in New York. I'm in New York, bro. I'm in the theater. I'm like, we're right by Madison Square Garden. Where that theater was called, whatever, right?
Yeah, I forget the name.
Bro, D-Roc, Wayne, I walked out and purposely walked out with the Beat Nuts and Fat Joe because I know them. And I'm like, I feel safe. And me and Fat Joe the other day talked about it. He was like, oh yeah, we had our things on this. You was really safe. I'm like, I didn't even know. I just want to walk out with somebody familiar from the East Coast.
The energy definitely shifts.
My God, it shifted. Yeah. I left before the show ended. I left.
Right.
So, no, I get it. I get it.
All right, guys, we got to go now.
Yeah, we'll be doing this all day, bro.
Biggie, I got a story to tell. Please check out this amazing documentary on Netflix. It is available right now. Wayne, D-Roc, thank y'all for just
respect.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Just answering questions, man. Yeah, we went off to whole other things, man. We appreciate y'all.
Frequently asked questions.
Bro, man, talk.
No doubt.
Y'all be safe, all right?
All right, take care. Much love to y'all.
Wow, that was D-Roc, Wayne. Frequently asked questions, man. It's beautiful, man. I'm glad the brothers was able to tell their story, man.
Oh, that was dope.